In this video, I'm going to show you how to quickly and easily clean a Kimber Pro Carry 1911 and 45. Once the gun is verified unloaded, no magazine, no round in the chamber, and no magazine at the same time. Lock the slide to the rear, as I've done. Takedown pin or bent paper clip will work in a pinch if you don't have it. Locate the takedown hole. Slip the pin into the hole. Release the slide gently till the pressure is against the takedown pin, like so. Then we want to move the slide forward until that little notch lines up with the slide lock lever, and then pressing from the back, press that lever, comes straight out. You can lift that right out, set that aside. Now the entire slide comes right off the front of the gun. Your guide rod falls out. Set the frame aside, turn it upside down. Remove the barrel's out. And that is pretty much as far apart as you need to take the gun. You got your frame, you can get to everything that gets dirty in here. Now we just need to clean it. I use Hoppies number 9. As you can see here, this is a large container, it's going to last me a long time. What I do is I put it in one of these containers. These are nice because you can close them, open it up. It's got a little pump on it, so when you press down it brings more up to the top so you don't get all your fluid dirty in here, and it's very hard to spill. Basically my procedure, I just get some Hoppies. Let's get some Hoppies all over that. Take a paper towel. I'm just cleaning the outside real good. Get it nice and shiny. We're going to clean the inside later. Do the same thing with the guide rod. Just get some Hoppies on there, all over. Take the shortcut. Nice quick shortcut. This is great when you're in the field as well, at a training class, and you don't want to go to your hotel and clean your gun every night, so you just take it apart this far. Feed this in. It's got your copper brushes here, which is going to get out any lead fouling that's on the inside, copper fouling. Pull it through. It's going to be kind of tight. And then the whole rest of this goes through and really polishes up the inside. Just pull it all through. I do it a couple of times. If you want, you can put a little, you can drip a little Hoppies number 9 on this area of the bore snake, or even this area of the bore snake. I find that gets messy. It does a little bit better job, but this really gets everything out that you need out. And if you just look, that is pretty shiny and clean. Good enough for me. Next, we want to clean the slide. It gets real grungy in here, and the notches here where it slides along the frame. You want to get all that clean. Now there's a couple ways to do this. You can get your Hoppies number 9. You know, this is a good way to do it if you really want to get to know all the nooks and crannies of your gun. You can use this. Clean everywhere where any pieces of metal touch each other. Get it nice and clean. You're going to need to use a couple of these. I mean, it doesn't have to be 100%, but you want to get most of it out of there. You want to get the bolt face here. Get that pretty good. Get that all up. Every place where you see grime, pretty good. And I just get a paper towel, and I want to remove as much of that solvent as I can. Get a couple of dry swabs. Just try and get as much of that solvent out as you can. There is a quicker way to do this, which I'll show you, to get Birchwood KC gun scrubber. I always get the synthetic safe. I want to make sure it's not going to attack anything on the gun. And you can just take that. You want to hold it over a trash can and just spray it down. And this doesn't leave a residue, and it gets all the gunk off of there. You still might want to get a cotton swab after that and, you know, get all the last bit of junk on there. Makes a bit of a mess, so make sure you hold it over a trash can, like I said. Next, we want to clean the frame. You got this opened up. Yeah, biggest places you want to get are right here on the slide, where the slide moves back and forth on here. You want to get this. You want to get any crud out of here that gets in there. The feed ramp, you want to make sure that's nice and clean and shiny. Slide on the other side. So basically, I would take this, hold it over the trash can, take the gun scrubber, and clean it that way. I'll show you that right now. Okay, so I'm just going to hold it over my trash can, get all the drippings. Get down in there, get around the trigger, like that. It's got some force to it, so not only does it get the good cleaning in there, but it also pushes most of the dirt right down in. So now it's kind of wet, so we just kind of wait for it to dry, and then I'm going to paper towel it off. Alright, so I just sprayed it down pretty good, just to prevent water drop, or you know, little drops drying on here and creating some marks. And my gun's, as you can see, it's seen some better days. It's been around for a while. Love to do a little bit of damage there. Next thing I like to do is push the paper towel through there, just to get all the any crud that might have gone down in there. Just wipe it through there, pull it through. Gets pretty clean. Now for the lubrication part. This is my preferred lube. It's Slip 2000 EWL 30. What I like about this is it's a little thicker. This stuff is great as well, tri-flow lubricant. Pretty much anything's going to work really well. What I like about this is it's a little thicker, so it doesn't tend to, it tends to stay in place for a long period of time, especially when you're in training or doing a lot of shooting. You'll see when you go to clean your gun that this lube is still in there. It's not going to disintegrate and stop lubricating. This stuff hangs around for a long time, just because it's a little thicker. So what I like to do is just put a drop or two on the slide, probably a little more than I should right there. Drop or two is all you need. I like to put a drop down where the hammer moves, a drop down in all these moving parts here. That's about it. Then I'll kind of slide it around a little. What I also like to do on the barrel, I like to put just a couple of drops on the outside of the barrel and just kind of get the barrel wet with lube. The reason I do this is I don't like to have any possibility of rust. Just wipe it off really lightly. You don't want to wipe it all the way, but get some of the excess off of there. Now this is better protected. You know, this gun stays right by my skin a lot when I'm carrying, and I don't want my sweat and moisture to start attacking the barrel on the gun. The frame's aluminum, the slide is steel. The other thing I like to do is put a drop on the guide rod, because that does move back and forth. You don't have to smear it around like I'm doing. It'll smear around on its own. I just like to get it all kind of worked in there a little bit. Put a little lube there. On the slide, same thing, just a drop here. Anywhere there's going to be metal on metal. I'm doing this kind of fast, so my drops are a little bigger than you really need. So smear it around a little bit, get that stuff in there. And that's about it for lubrication. Then you have the lube. Now we're gonna put it back together. Okay, reassembly. So first thing you want to do is hold the slide upside down. Put your barrel in there. Don't worry about that link. This link has to be in the right spot, but don't worry about that for now. Put your barrel in there until it locks into the grooves in the bottom. Okay, it is locked in. And you want to take your guide rod. You don't want to have taken that pin out, and you want to slide it through this way and let it sit. It's got a notch right there. Let it sit right on top of the barrel like that. So you want it to be sitting like this, with this sticking straight out like that, so you can see through it. All right. Now, if you hold it like this, you want to slide this under the gun very slowly. Okay, I usually tip it back when I'm going to try and tip it forward so you can see what's going on here. And you'll see that that link, when you see the center of that link come through there, that's where you want it to line up. When that's lined up, this goes through. Now you're good. Now you have to sit right on top here. This is kind of a tricky part. So you can't put that on yet because you have to line this up. So you want to go back. It's going to feel like it's getting stuck. You just force it a little bit. And you get that notch lined up. Right, lined up like that. So when you press this down, you got to press it past this. This is spring loaded here. So if you look at this, it's got a little angle on there to help push that aside, so you don't worry about that, but it is in the way. So you want to line this up like that, so when you push that down, it's going to go right into that link. Okay, so you want to press it in. Like that. Okay. Yeah, that could be the trickiest part, and you want to be careful, especially with your new gun. If you push that down, if you don't push that down carefully, you could put a little scratch in the slide. It's not going to hurt anything, but it'll piss you off because it's your new gun. So now that that's there, I want to force the slide all the way back. Press the slide lock up. Now that it's back, there's no more pressure on the takedown pin. Pull that out. Now carefully you can allow it to come forward. Make sure everything looks nice and tight like it should be. And it is. Everything is in place. Now to verify that everything's right, you want to move the slide back and forth. You feel the resistance you normally would feel when racking your slide. Everything good. Slide back, unloaded, no round in the chamber. I never put any ammo in there, but every time you're going to pull the trigger, you want to check to make sure it's loaded every single time. Make sure it's not loaded. Nothing in there, nothing in there. Let me slide. Now I can safely pull the trigger. Make sure safety works. Make sure everything's functioning. Make sure trigger doesn't go with the safety on. Ready to go. Now, I put a little too much oil in there. You can see extra oil on here. So what I will do now is just go in with a paper towel, clean it up a little bit. Especially after you work the slide a few times, that's what you want to do to get some of the excess oil to come out. So you wipe it down. Personally, I don't mind a little extra oil on the outside of the gun. It can get messy, but it helps preserve the finish of the gun. There you have it. Nice clean gun, ready to run once again.